Everyone's talking about one name right now, Shane Van Gisbergen, SVG. And if you followed motorsports outside NASCAR, then you already knew this guy isn't normal. He's different. Before he ever set foot in the United States, SVG had already built a career most drivers can only dream of. 3 championships in Australia's Supercars Series. Over tactic wins. Multiple victories at Bathurst. A win in the Bathurst 12-hour. Even a podium at Daytona. That's not just good, that's elite-level dominance. But then came 2023, and everything changed. SVG shows up to one single NASCAR Cup Series race. The Chicago Street Course. No expectations, no experience, and he wins. First attempt ever. Something that hadn't been done since 1963. Just like that overnight, SVG went from a global talent to one of the hottest names in all of motorsports. That moment didn't just make headlines, it opened the door. Trackhouse racing took notice. And in 2024, SVG committed full-time to the Xfinity Series, not to dominate, but to learn. New tracks, new style, new challenges. Still, he grabbed 3 wins and finished 12th in the standings. Solid. But then came the real test. Ovals. When he stepped into cup races on oval tracks, reality hit hard. His best finish? Just 26th at Darlington. That's when it became clear this wasn't going to be easy. So, in 2025, SVG made the full jump to the Cup Series, driving the number 88 for Trackhouse. And on road courses? He was unstoppable. 5 wins in 6 races. Mexico City won by over 16 seconds. Chicago again. Sonoma led 97 laps. Watkins Glen. Charlotte Roval. By just his 38th start, 5 wins. The last driver to do that? Back in at Tucson Neo Hundras Extiowata. Let that sink in. But while he was dominating one side of NASCAR, the other side was exposing him. On ovals, it was a completely different story. 31st at Phoenix, 34th at Las Vegas, 32nd at Homestead. Week after week, struggling. At one point, he dropped as low as 33rd in the standings. And even SVG admitted it, this was one of the toughest challenges of his entire career. He said the problem wasn't the car, it was him, not trusting the banking, not understanding how to attack corners flat out. Even his crew chief was still learning at the cup level. So, every single weekend, it was frustration, adjustments, and more frustration. But then, something started to change. Late in 2025, signs of progress finally showed. A top 10 at Kansas, 11th at Talladega, 14th at Martinsville. He still won Rookie of the Year, still made the playoffs. But one big question remained. Can SVG actually figure out ovals? Now fast forward to 2026, 7 races in, and this is where things get really interesting. Daytona 500 qualified 13th, led laps, ran top 10 before getting caught in a crash. Result? 30th. But the speed? It was there. Atlanta, his best oval finish ever. 6th place. And here's the crazy part. He went through the grass twice and still finished 6th. That one race alone launched him from 28th to 16th in the standings. Then at COTA, he finishes 2nd, just missing another win. At Phoenix, spins twice, still finishes 11th. Las Vegas damage on lap 1? Dead last. Darlington 14th, clear improvement. Martinsville ran top 10 all day, scored stage points, even found himself running 2nd at one point. And now, he sits 14th in the standings. Not flashy, not dominant, but consistent, right on the edge of the playoff cut line. And then, NASCAR drops the advanced stats over the Easter break. And this changes everything. Because according to the numbers, SVG is no longer just surviving on ovals. He's improving, fast. He's now above average on drafting tracks. Above average on short tracks, and on traditional ovals, still slightly below, but way closer than last year. And it's not just stats anymore. Other drivers are starting to notice. Denny Hamlin says elite drivers always adapt, and SVG is doing exactly that. Chase Elliott? Not surprised. Christopher Bell says it won't be long before SVG is fully competitive on ovals. Even Joey Logano admits he's doing a solid job. And inside Trackhouse, SVG is already outperforming his own teammate. Even jokes are starting. Ross Chastain saying don't be surprised if rugby balls start flying into the stands when SVG finally wins on an oval. That's how close people think he is. Because right now, this isn't just a rookie learning anymore. This is becoming one of the most impressive development stories in NASCAR. And maybe the most dangerous part? SVG's mindset. Because when he was asked about all of this, about winning on ovals. But here's what makes this story even more powerful. When SVG was asked about winning on an oval, he didn't hype it up. He didn't make bold predictions. Instead, he said something most drivers wouldn't dare to admit. He's still not there yet. He doesn't want a lucky win. He doesn't want strategy to hand it to him. He wants to earn it. And that right there tells you everything about his mindset. Because even though he's improving every single week, even though the results are getting better, he knows there's still another level to reach. And in 2026, that matters more than ever. Because NASCAR brought back the chase format. No safety net. No second chances. You either perform or you're out. That's why this story is so important right now. Because if SVG keeps improving on ovals the way he is, he's no longer just a road course specialist. He becomes something way more dangerous. A complete driver, a real championship contender. And if that happens, it doesn't just change his season. It changes the entire championship picture. And honestly, as fans, this is exactly what you want to see. A driver comes into NASCAR, struggles, admits it, doesn't make excuses, then slowly, step by step, starts figuring it out. That's what this sport is built on. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think SVG gets that first oval win this season? Or does he still need more time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. But here's my take after watching this unfold every single week. I think it's coming. Maybe not immediately. Maybe not in the next race or two. But sooner than people expect. Because what stands out isn't just the results. It's how he's getting them. He's recovering from mistakes. He's running inside the top 10 more consistently. And most importantly, he's starting to understand the rhythm of oval racing. And that's the hardest part for any driver coming from road courses. But now, you can actually see it. The confidence is building. He's no longer reacting to the car. He's anticipating it. And when a driver with this level of talent reaches that point, things change fast. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not calling him a championship favorite yet. That's still a step too far. But if this progression continues, by the time we get deeper into the season, or especially into the playoffs, he could easily become one of those drivers nobody wants to race against. So yeah, I'm buying into it. SVG isn't just figuring out ovals anymore. He's becoming dangerous. And if you're new here, this is NASCAR Insider Hub. If you want real NASCAR breakdowns, insider-level insight, and no fluff, go ahead, hit subscribe, and be part of it. Because trust me, this story, it's just getting started.